to Frontier Opening Bell. Let's get Monday started, the first Monday in the month of December, getting a bit of the OPEC plus issue, the EU price cap on Russia on the weekend, down into Monday, December the 5th, which is starting today. The Nigerian stock market was a strong 1.04%. Investors came back from a very skittish final days of November, starting the new month on a very strong note after a very sluggish Monday. Tuesday, the market started to climb backwards to the upside on Wednesday and finished off Friday 1.05%. On a week-on-week basis, the market was a very solid 48,000 and added a few notches above that level. The total value of all listed securities also got better, around 26 trillion. And that's where today's trading will be getting started in a short while. The BRVM went down 0.84%. That's the composite. Sunday is the start of the market week for Egypt. That came a roaring 6.18%. Took the EGX 30 above 14,000 reading for the first time so far this year. And the Nairobi Bourse was down 0.35%. Friday, the GSE also soft by 0.96%, roughly 1%, 74,297. But we've got a couple of stories in the news making the headlines as we start the new week. The Bank of Kigali in Rwanda says his income rose about 18.4% to about $41 million for the period ended September. Seychelles Islands is reporting October production prices up 22.2% on a year-on-year basis, 2.9% on a month-on-month basis. The island of the Indian Ocean has to watch that very closely as that inflation, factor inflation, produce inflation could begin to trickle down to demand on the street. The Bank of Uganda, which is the central bank, says is going to regulate cooperative societies or SACCOs that's had about 1.5 billion shillings in savings. You've got that. You're going to come under the oversight of the central bank. That's part of ensuring that the cooperative unions or credit union play according to the rules, and that savers' monies and members' funds are not misused, properly implemented. And that's what the Bank of Uganda is trying to do. December 7th, Mauritius inflation is going to be a very busy week. That's going to be on Wednesday. Inflation will be out of Mauritius, out of the island of the Indian Ocean, east coast of the continent. Seychelles Islands inflation data will also be out on the same day. On Thursday, December the 8th, Tanzania, November inflation is expected on the street, as well as Kenya and Uganda. Uganda's PMIs, which are the Purchasing Managers Index for the month we just finished in November. In West Africa, it's going to be a very big week on the economic data as well. But the biggest story for West Africa is coming right out of Ghana. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, over the weekend announced a rejigging of the local debt for bondholders. What the minister announced over the weekend, which we believe was part of the IMF talk, which are currently in Ghana to talk about the $3 billion fresh bailout, was that there's going to be 4 new bonds that will be offered local bondholders. The government is trying to restructure. The new bonds will now be the new 4 bonds that will be issued by the government to be for a 4-year period, maturing over a 4-year period. The first maturing in 2023 will carry a 0 coupon. And that market analysts are beginning to question whether bondholders, local bondholders in Ghana will take 0 coupon on their bond for this year. Between 5% will be for the 2024 till the end of the maturity of the new bonds. It's a whole part of Ghana trying to stay afloat from away from default, which is most likely Bloomberg reporting Ghana is likely to default on its credit sometime in June next year. Ghana has a couple of billions of dollars that are maturing around June next year. We're going to see today a sell down in the bond market in Ghana. We'll keep an eye on that for you when the show returns on Tuesday. In the meantime, the market rally in Nigeria buoyed Aliko Dangote's net worth for the month of November by about $1.5 billion. Nigerian stock market finished nicely in November, around 8.5% on the back of the rally that we saw towards the end of that month. Germany is pledging about 32 million euros in grants to Ghana's critical sectors. Ghana can use every piece of fund it can get right now, in particular if it comes in foreign currency terms, the dollar, the the pound, the euro, whatever. And ExxonMobil says it's exiting Equatorial Guinea amid wider Africa crude phase outs. Just this news coming at a time when Equatorial Guinea has been voted as the new president or the next president of OPEC, and that will be starting next year. The historic sale of 9.95% of a range of Côte d'Ivoire on the BRVM is the big story from the Côte d'Ivoire market, which is French-speaking stock market for the 8 countries in West Africa that under the Francophone umbrella. Côte d'Ivoire, it says, has been moved from fragile to mid-income country. That's according to the International Monetary Fund. Let's take that a bit further into the Southern African economy, where President Ramaphosa is fighting for his political future. Over the weekend, the sitting president says his future will be determined by the ENC and no longer himself. Reports over the weekend said President Ramaphosa had already written his resignation letter and was ready to make that announcement on Thursday. Was later dissuaded from doing that. The ENC has stepped in, all at the back of the Farmgate multi-million-dollar scandal that is looking to envelop the administration of President Ramaphosa. He's due for re-election next year. South Africa's headline interest rate, however, may hit 8%. The last SARB decision, the central bank took the policy rate to 7%. Analysts are saying that could go as high as 8% because of the crisis around President Ramaphosa and economic reform. Eskom is likely not, this is the latest, just to put it simply, no haircut for borehole. That's what we got over the weekend. We also got news that the finance minister, Enoch Godongwana, is likely to refuse 15 million rand that the Eskom is asking as a price of special subsidy on diesel procurement to keep firing his facilities to provide electricity. Rollout, blackout in South Africa has now come to stay, at least for the next 1 year. And Germany's Habeck is hunting for hydrogen in South Africa and Namibia, while Namibia and Angola have signed a memorandum of understanding to develop petrol and natural gas. And this week we're looking at Zambia, Mozambique PMI, then third quarter GDP from South Africa, October manufacturing data. All of this will be in play as we start the new week. Let's take that straight to the northern part of the continent, where Morocco's trade deficit was up about 81.8 billion dinars in the month of November. That for the month just behind us. Suez Canal is reporting a bumper revenue period for the month of September. That's the end of the first 9 months of the year, while Morocco is launching about 100% locally made cars, and that will be available, according to news sources, at about $15,000 price tag. And finally, Morocco is boosting King Mohammed VI fund to about $14 billion. The fund was launched recently. Now they're raising the size of that fund so that there could be further investments in one of North Africa's top economies. That's the next after Egypt. And those are your headlines to start the new week. Have a great day, everyone. We've got a whole lot more coming in the week. Bye for now. Have a great day.